This is Rogers TV. The opinions expressed in the following program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Rogers nor Rogers TV.
Hi everyone, I'm Deborah Hutchison in the Rogers TV studio, and this is your COVID-19 local update. Joining us first up on the show today are Dan and Lori O'Neill. They are organizers of the Par for the Cause golf tournament coming up. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Deborah. Great to be back again.
Good to reach out to you virtually via Zoom. It's become the norm these days. Now, Par for the Cause is a golf tournament. We've had you on Inside Durham before. COVID-19 kind of put a stop to your plans for a while, but you're going ahead with it.
Yeah, it was, I think we were on around mid-March, March 12th.
Right before everything just
Exactly.
went crazy.
We were just in the process of ramping up. We had our main sponsor, the tournament sponsor, was lined up. We had a couple of hole sponsors. We had our hole-in-one sponsor, and we were just starting to get really ramped up with getting things organized. And then COVID hit, and the province shut down. So we didn't know whether or not we would be able to go forward and eventually hold the tournament.
So so many other fundraising events, they inevitably just pulled the plug, but
right.
You waited. That must have been tough waiting it out too.
It was, and we were so pleased. I mean, our tournament's at Wooden Sticks in Uxbridge, and our representative there has been over and above, staying with us, helping us through, going through each of the phases and determining whether this is something we can go forward with. So we're just so thrilled with working with Wooden Sticks.
Yeah, the original date was July 14th, and then Steve Wilson is our contact at Wooden Sticks, and through the course of almost weekly conversations with them, we realized that we could possibly move it to August 25th. And then I think maybe in phase one, we realized we may have a better chance if we waited later in the summer to host something. Mm-hmm. So we decided to go to the 25th, and we moved through phase one, phase two, phase three, and we're able to move forward with it now.
Okay, let's talk about the details of the Par for the Cause. As you said, it's August 25th at Wooden Sticks Golf Club in Uxbridge. Yeah. You are raising money for two very important causes. Let's talk about that.
Okay, our first cause is Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation. In particular, our funds will be going to GTX research, which is guided therapeutics. 18 years ago, we started fundraising for Dr. Irish and his research team based on our niece who was battling cancer. And we've raised money. We've seen where the money goes. We have seen amazing progress with their research. They have the largest OR in Canada, the GTX OR, which is amazing. So yeah, we're thrilled to be able to continue to raise money for this fantastic cause.
Then as that was through a tournament up in Parry Sound, and 2 years ago we ended our relationship with that, and the Rotary Club in Parry Sound took it over to raise money for their hospitals and their charity activities up there. But we still thought we wanted to try and stay involved and raise some money, and a group of us down here said, well, we could maybe hold a golf tournament because we like golfing, and maybe find a charity closer to home that we could help as well. And that's when we learned about Ontario Shores.
Yeah, so we're raising money for their Recovery College, which is a very innovative program for inpatients and outpatients, helping them reintegrate back into the world, into the workforce. So again, both charities have just innovative and creative ways of helping their populations, and we are thrilled to be part of that. What was really interesting, and maybe we'd be talking about it later, but we have our representative from Princess Margaret, Tyler is coming out to volunteer, and our representative from Ontario Shores Honor is also coming out to volunteer on the day. So we are thrilled to have them there.
They're going to be running the putting contest.
Aha. Well,
So
let me ask
everyone
you,
will be able to meet them.
so many, tournaments and charities raise money for very worthwhile organizations. You're not just giving it to these worthwhile organizations. You chose very specific programs within those organizations.
Yeah.
Why?
Absolutely. Yeah, we over the 18 years that we had already been raising funds at this baseball tournament in Parry Sound, we've raised over $1 million for cancer research and care. So yeah, we're thrilled. So we're thrilled to continue that and raise money.
That kind of targeted approach we learned from our niece, who wanted to put the ball tournament together to raise money for cancer, but she wanted it to go to something specific, and she obviously had been familiar with Dr. Irish and his team, so that's who she picked. And then over the 14 years of running the tournament and seeing, if you can isolate your funds to where they're going to go, you can actually see the funds being used, and you can see how it makes a difference. So we wanted to do that with Ontario Shores, and they were very pleased to help us identify where we could put the money to help do the best job for them with the Recovery College.
All right, so we're in phase 3 of COVID-19. It's still affecting how this tournament is going to run. Let's talk about some of the differences that participants will find this year.
Well, normally in a tournament like this, everyone shows up and there's a shotgun start at a certain time, 9 o'clock in the morning, and you finish your round and you come in and you're all together for the dinner and cocktail hours, and there's a silent auction and raffles and draws and whatnot. So we can't do a shotgun start with COVID. So what we will do is Wooden Sticks has basically given us the golf course for the day. So it's par for the cause at the day at Wooden Sticks. And we have 124 golfers. They'll tee off in 10-minute intervals, which is kind of new COVID golf rules, from 9 o'clock through 2 o'clock. They will follow all the COVID regulations in terms of social distancing and keeping everybody as separate as possible.
Wearing masks inside.
Yeah. They get a boxed meal when they go out. Once they're finished their round, there's a table reserved on their outdoor patio with social distancing in mind, and they can have a cocktail in their after round meal and stay there for about 90 minutes. Now, we will not have a silent auction, but the group has figured out that we could hold an auction online through Facebook. So we'll have everything there that they can have a look at, but the online auction starts August 15th.
Yeah, this Saturday.
And it'll run through the 26th, and we're hoping to raise a whole lot of money in that way. We got all kinds of neat gifts.
And our community has just stepped up to the plate. Restaurants, you name it. People have said, yes, we're going to help this charity. We'll help your charities. And, we're helping them by introducing their names at their golf courses and just all sorts of wonderful community involvement in our auction. So, we're just thrilled, as well as, we haven't even, maybe you were going to talk about this, but our sponsors, we sold out all of our major sponsors. Digital Edge Printed Media is our sponsor, tournament sponsor, and also handling all of our printing needs, all the whole signs and everything we need for the tournament. So yeah, it's just been tremendous. I mean, we're just over the top. All of us on our committee, and there's 12 of us on the committee, and everyone is just thrilled.
Let's talk about, Wooden Sticks is such a phenomenal golf course.
Yes.
You have some special holes as well. Number 17, which is the Island Green, for those who have never been to Wooden Sticks. That is your, closest to the hole?
Yes, we're going to hold closest to the hole, men's and women's, on that hole. So you have to hit it over the water, get it on the green, and then try to get it closest to the pin to have a chance to win. So
no easy feat. And then the hole-in-one is the number 3,
third hole,
right?
It's a hole-in-one would be the third hole. And again, you have to carry a pond to get it on the green there. But if we have someone who's fortunate enough to get a hole-in-one, they win $10,000. There's $10,000 at stake.
Wow.
5,000 will go to the charities, and 5,000 will go to the person who got the hole-in-one. So we're fingers crossed, very hopeful that someone gets a hole-in-one that day on that hole.
Yeah.
Are we turning this into an annual event?
Oh yes, that's our plan.
We haven't had the official committee vote yet,
but we have a wait list of golfers. Yeah. Typically, a tournament would hold 144 golfers, and we have 124 and people waiting to be brought in next year. So
we were with COVID. We were initially capped at 100, and then once we decided we were going to go, we had I think 60 or so golfers registered, and within 2 to 3 days, we had 100, and we had people on the waiting list. So again, working with Steve and Wooden Sticks, we were able to grow that to 124, but that's kind of the maximum you can do with the way the tournament's running this year. Yeah. And actually, it will be the largest event that they'll host this year, as it turns out. So
that is incredible.
About that.
Such a large event. Thank goodness you have been able to go forward to it. You know, it almost works to your advantage that people were cooped up for so long, and now they can safely distance and get out and enjoy the fresh air.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And golf is a perfect COVID sport. It really does lend itself to it.
What's your fun? Sorry, Lori, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, I was mentioned about our committee, but we also have a roster of volunteers who have stepped forward to help us run the tournament. So we are so thankful for them as well. I mean, I just want to make sure we thank everybody that we can think of during this call, because everybody is so integral to running this tournament and making it
You couldn't have picked a better golf course.
I know.
We agree.
That is a real draw for a lot of people.
It is, and it's in immaculate shape. We're actually out there a couple weeks ago, kind of finalizing the last couple of details with Steve, and it is pristine. The course is in amazing condition.
Well, and Dan, you can talk on the actual course, like the holes and the inspirational holes that they have there.
Yeah, well, they designed the course so that a lot of the holes are replicas or inspired by other famous golf courses around the world. The 17th hole is an example. That's the Island Green at the PGA in the US. Number 10 and 18 are the first and the 18th hole at St. Andrews.
What about number 3? That's your hole-in-one. What's the inspiration for that one? Do you know?
Oh, that's a good question. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's...
That's okay. We'll Google it. Everybody at home will Google it.
I'd have to Google.
Right? That's what Google's for. Your fundraising goal for this event. How much are you hoping to raise?
Well, we didn't really have a goal. It was kind of funny. When we started out, we were just hopeful that, or cautiously optimistic, we could get maybe 60 golfers and maybe we could have a silent auction. And then obviously we blew through that. But we should be able to get well north of $20,000, I would think.
Okay. Well, all the best to you. I'm so happy that you can go ahead with your event. Love to talk to you next year for the second annual one.
Perfect.
Sounds great, Deborah. Thank you so much.
We'll make it a date.
Okay, it's a date. Stay with us. More on Local Update after the break.
I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Allison.
We are so excited to be back for another season of The Parenting Show.
Yes, and the topics for this round are things like the infiltration of tech in the family, ways for parents to prevent underage drinking, good old sibling fighting and rivalry, and how to handle those nasty power struggles in the family.
And it's a great way for you to realize that you are not alone. It's all right here on Rogers TV.
And welcome back to your COVID-19 local update. Joining me now is Carrie King from Whitby Station Gallery. Hi, Carrie. It is so good to see your face.
Thank you. It's great to be seen.
Albeit virtually. So Station Gallery, for those that are unfamiliar, tell me about Station Gallery and what makes it so unique.
Oh, wow. Well, we've been around for 50 years, actually. That's kind of an exciting thing happening this year. And today, actually, we're reopening after 5 months of being closed. So it's been a bit of a challenging time, but there's so much to celebrate. We're actually launching with 2 new exhibitions, one being Drawing for Art, and the other being a whole exhibition by Steve Nelson on Camp 30, which is really, really interesting. And I know, Deb, you've probably talked about that on your show over the years for sure. But it's such a special place, and we've got such a tight-knit, amazing group of patrons and supporters, and we're just so happy to be able to open up again. We did spend the last 5 months renovating and refreshing the spaces. So we're super excited about that, to be able to open up and have some new spaces to share with everybody.
So it's been closed for 5 months. It must have been a heartbreaking decision for you to have to make, because this is such a special year, being your 50th.
It is.
You had so many plans for 2020.
We did, and we've kind of had to reimagine all of our events that we've had. We are launching Drawing for Art, which has, been a huge fundraiser for us, a really important event for our community. We get huge support from our artist community. This year we've got 150 works of art that have been donated from artists. And we have incredible support. People are still buying tickets, which is wonderful. It's going to be a virtual Drawing for Art this year. So people can come in to view the show. And actually, the mayor and council are going to be joining us tomorrow morning to officially reopen the gallery. We have been open by appointment only for the last week or so, and now we're opening up. So we're really looking forward to seeing everybody's faces, and slowly we'll reopen some of our education programming as well. Our staff is coming back this week as well, some of our education team, and so it's been certainly a bit of a challenging time, but we're super happy to be able to reopen and welcome everyone back.
Let's talk about, now that you are open, the precautions that you all have had to take to protect not only your staff, but also the visitors. Life has changed.
Yes, well, what we've done for just the first week or so is just to gauge the amount of traffic that we'd have coming in. We've opened by appointment only. So we've been fairly busy every day over the last week, just having people come in that way. They're coming in with masks. Chuck, our facilities guy, has been amazing, just wiping everything down. We've got all the precautions in place in terms of the cleaners that we're using, and just making sure that we know who's in the gallery. We've got all the contacts. So it's standard protocol that we're following, that the town of Whitby dictates to us, because we are a city-owned facility, although we're a charity. But we're following that, and it was a very successful week last week. We had great visitation, and everybody was comfortable and safe.
So now that you are throwing your doors open, so if I want to come and visit, what are the hours that you're open? Has the hours altered?
The hours are a little different than they were before. We're open from 10 till 4 now during the week. And we're on a limited staff. We've been very fortunate to have received funding, some of the federal funding, to keep 3 of us on staff the entire time. We've unfortunately had to lay a few people off, but we are bringing the majority of them back, starting last week and then this week as well. So it's been great in that the gallery's in good shape financially after that. I know a lot of businesses aren't in the same shape, but we get incredible support from the town, and we're very lucky that way. And we've had some great donors that have, because we're celebrating our 50th, wanted to give us funding to refresh some of the spaces. So we've got a brand new patrons lounge, which we converted from our old education office. And so that's a beautiful community space where people can come and sit and have a coffee. It's a nice place for people to hang out. And also we've taken the lower gallery, or the lower spaces where was typically just education, like our studio spaces. And now we've got an entire brand new exhibition space. So we've been working with Chris Trabella, who is a producer, an event producer, an amazing artist and designer. And he actually did our brand new Station Gallery logo, which is here, which I think is pretty sweet looking.
I like it.
To celebrate our 50th. I'll have to get you one of these wonderfully unexpected mugs.
Deal.
So that's our new logo. And so we've been refreshing the spaces, and we just wanted it to be exciting when everybody came back, not only for our staff, but of course, all the public. And it has been such an important community hub for people in Whitby and right across the Durham region. So I think people are excited to be coming back. And we'll be slowly introducing the classes over time. And some of them will be more challenging. And of course, we have depended a lot on school groups coming in, and that's probably going to be changing. We may have some classes coming in, just maybe from some school kids that are homeschooled and things like that. But we're going to have to play that by ear in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, I was going to say, a staple of every parent's go-to summer programs for their kids was the Station Gallery and the arts programs you had over the summer break. And that, of course, didn't happen this year.
Yeah, that was sad because, we just have a great group of students that come in. It gives them a huge opportunity to get that experience working. The kids, we missed having them. But, I think it was the right thing to do. Some places open, we chose to follow suit with the town ourselves, and we had to cancel all the summer camps this year. So, we are going to be opening up with some interesting sessions, more workshop style rather than huge classroom style, just to keep everybody safe and make sure that when people are in the gallery, they've got enough space to social distance. And, I think that's a big part of it that we all have to do as we adapt for the new normal here.
Was there any discussions about virtual workshops?
We actually have shared out a few sort of tutorials, like virtual tutorials, which have been well received. We have limited staff, and we did have limited staff during our closure. So it was really hard to get into that. And, even just fiscally, it's challenging because that's not really the business we're in. But we did try to adapt and kind of pivot to make sure that we, had some offerings. And we had a great partnership with Crayola, and we were able to deliver with support from some of our volunteers, different products to people's doorsteps. And we had some fun doing that during the closure. And now we're going to be meeting with our staff, our education team tomorrow morning after the mayor and council are there. And we're going to be talking about redesigning programs to launch in tandem with the town of Whitby in the fall.
Okay, so let's talk about going forward. And you said you are opening with two amazing new exhibits. Let's talk about those.
Sure. So Drawing for Art, and I don't know if you've ever been, Deb. Have you ever been to Drawing for Art?
Carrie,
I think we talked about it. So we have Terry Johnson. He's our MC, and he makes it really fun. And typically we have about 350 people in the gallery. So we've got 150 works of art, and essentially what happens is we draw the tickets, the sort of numbers, and depending on when people's name names are drawn, that determines the selection that they have of artworks. So if you're first picked, you have a pick of 150 works. And this year, the exhibition is probably one of the best I've ever seen. And I've been going to Drawing for Art before I worked at the gallery. So it's one of my favorite events in Durham region. And what's kind of cool about this year, and one of our board members actually was in for a visit and to buy his ticket a couple days ago. And he said he's going to be hosting a DFA party. So we're going to have some fun with that. People are going to be kind of in their bubbles and, meeting together and supporting and watching Drawing for Art remotely. And, the artists will do the same. And it's a huge fundraiser for us. So it's something we're really counting on, the ongoing support from our community. And we're really lucky because the works are incredible. And so even if people aren't buying a ticket, they can, of course, come in and see the kind of work that we have here in Durham region. And I mean, the majority of the artists are local. Some of them donate maybe from Durham, and they're donating works and they send them from all over the country. And the caliber of artists, and we've talked about this before, Deb, we are so fortunate in Durham region to have such a rich, vibrant community of artists and creative people. And it's just a wonderful way to celebrate that.
How much is a ticket? How do you get a ticket?
Tickets are available online at stationgallery.ca, and they're $250. And we've got some surprises. We're going to be doing some fun sort of little picnic baskets for people that wouldn't be able to enjoy the beautiful food that Susan Frank does for us. And so that'll be a fun little surprise that people will pick up. And people can go right on the website or call the gallery, and we're happy to arrange for ticket sales. This event always sells out. We only have 150 tickets, or actually it's 120 tickets, 150 works of art. So people, even if they're the last selected, they'll still have a number of artworks to choose from.
And then, of course, you mentioned Camp 30.
Yes, Camp 30. So that's Steve Nelson. And so I'm not sure if you remember that space, but the space that's our community gallery, we always feature local artists in that space. We've got Steve Nelson's photographic exhibit on Camp 30, which is really interesting. I mean, I know you've talked about it. We've got Lynn Philip Hodgson in this community. I know Rogers has done tons of coverage on that, and it's great to have this photographic exhibition that's being featured, and I think it's going to attract a lot of people. We have so many people interested in Camp 30 in Durham, as you know, and so we're hoping to really have the community come out and see it, and we'll make sure that when they do come through the doors that people go in and view the exhibits in a timed fashion so that everybody's safe and comfortable and has enough time to go through it.
So definitely better days ahead and a reason to smile for everyone there at Whitby Station Gallery.
Yes, we're just super happy to be able to open the doors again and invite people to see the changes. And of course, our new underground sort of comic exhibition that's happening, that'll be taking place, I think, the third week of September during Comic Week. And so that I know Chris Trabella has a number of very really great artists lined up for that, and is even looking for others. So if anybody who's watching is into comics, there's going to be some workshops, there's going to be some celebrations, and this is going to be very much an interactive, super exciting exhibition.
Carrie, so, I'm going to have to stop you there. Believe it or not, we're out of time. You're going to have to come back.
Okay, good. Thanks for having me, Deb.
Thanks to Carrie King from the Whitby Station Gallery, and thanks to you for joining us. Until next time, I'm Deborah Hutchison.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.